Hey there, welcome back. I hope everybody's doing good out there today. Today I'm doing a super thanks donation request for aixmhros. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Let me know if I mispronounced it, which I probably did. I'm going to be listening to Ren with his song Eden. Really excited for this. I love everything I've heard from Ren so far. I do need to apologize to Axum. I apologize this has taken so long to get out. I've been mostly offline for the last several days. So I usually try to get these out within just like a day or two of the donation. But today, I think it's been 4 or 5 days. So I really do apologize. But I couldn't get to the computer to record. I want to thank you so much for your donation. I really, really appreciate it. It means the world. And I'm super excited to hear more Ren. This is a little bit of a longer song. I've obviously done some longer ones, but I'm excited to get to see what this is. I have no idea where this is going to go. When I looked it up, because there's several songs that of Ren's that feature a person named Eden Haast, or I apologize for not knowing his name. But then I saw there was an actual song called Eden, so I hope this is what you want me to watch. But I'm super excited for this. Anything new from Ren is amazing. I've been so impressed with this guy. It's just, again, it's so much outside of my normal music I listen to, but it's very cool, and I love his storytelling. That's my favorite part of Ren stuff, is his storytelling, whether it's the really deep, dark, in crazy dramatic stuff or just the fun stuff. His storytelling is so impressive. So I'm super excited for this. So let me go ahead and switch on over. So here we go with a super thanks donation request for aixmhros of Ren and his song Eden.
Let me tell you a story as old as time, the story of Adam and Eve.
It
starts with a God who wanted more. God had just created the heavens and the earth.
Hold on.
He had the angels.
Sorry, I want to start from the beginning. I was hoping, because a lot of his songs, I guess him and his people have been going through his songs and adding correct closed captions, which several of the songs I've done, even you guys didn't realize that they had fixed the subtitles in, but this one is auto-generated. In case you haven't, don't watch my channel much, I absolutely do not like auto-generated captions, because in music it's usually so wrong. So let's go ahead and get into this again.
Let me tell you a story as old as time, the story of Adam and Eve. It starts with a God who wanted more. God had just created the heavens and the earth. He had the angels by his side, but they had no will of their own. And so the autonomy to love or reject him was never theirs. All but for one, the once called bringer of light, Lucifer, morning star. Lucifer was the fairest and most intelligent of all the angels. He was the closest thing to God's image, and in his likeliness, Lucifer felt restless. He began to question and doubt God. He doubted the hierarchy opposed upon him. He felt God was arrogant. In his frustration, Lucifer built a throne that stood even above God's and declared mutiny. A war ensued. God, being all-powerful, came out the victor and banished Lucifer from the heavens and exiled him to earth. Once again, God was alone with his power. Perhaps from loneliness, perhaps from curiosity, perhaps from a desire to share love, God began to work on his greatest project yet, a being that would mirror himself, the human, 2 humans specifically, Adam and Eve. They were placed inside a paradise built for them on earth, the Garden of Eden. In the garden, God placed a tree that bared fruit that would grant anyone who ate it powers bestowed only to a God, to tell good from evil, left from right, to live righteously or to sin. He named this the tree of knowledge. God told...
Okay, I'm digging this. I'm not a religious person at all. I'm not anti-religion, but I'm also not religious. But I'm digging this storytelling. Again, it's storytelling. He's not even singing. He's not singing. He's not rapping. He's just telling a story, and it works. I love his voice. I'm loving the 16-bit video game graphics, which is it's working so well, and I'm really digging that. The filters that not the whole story hasn't had it, but every once in a while there's a line he puts a filter on his voice that gives it so much texture and stuff. But I'm really enjoying this. This is really cool. He's such a great. I could listen to him read a book. He needs to, for a little side hustle, start doing audiobooks, because I can listen to him talk all the time. It's really cool.
Live righteously or to sin. He named this the tree of knowledge. God told Adam and Eve they could eat whatever they wanted in the garden, but never the fruit from the tree of knowledge. And if they disobeyed him, it would be punishable by death. The basic way the story of Eden is told is that Eve was tempted by Lucifer in the form of a serpent to eat a fruit from the tree of knowledge. Convinced, she bit the fruit, she passed it to Adam, and he did the same. Suddenly, ultimate knowledge filled their minds, and they realized they were naked and felt shame. God discovered this betrayal and felt angry. He exiled Adam and Eve and cursed them with the life of a mortal. They would work, they would bear children, and they would die. The fate of a human. Now look deeper.
In the story, the serpent tempted me by telling me I would gain ultimate knowledge and that God would spare me.
Both were true.
This wasn't some great deception, meaning that Satan, in the likeliness of God, perhaps understood his intentions. In fact,
the only lie uttered in the
Garden of Eden was
by God, who did not end up
condemning
Adam and Eve to
death.
This could be seen as an act of
mercy, but the sheer fact that the tree existed and that humans
were initially cut off from this knowledge
may imply some part of God was afraid that if humans were granted the gift of perception, they, like Lucifer, would have the power to reject him too. The fact that there stood a beautiful tree that could
grant this knowledge in the first place
implies that a small part of
God, supposedly all-knowing,
perhaps wanted and intended
the humans to bite too.
In the Bible, Satan was an exiled angel of free will. Humans are exiled.
I'm loving the change of voice. The seamless changes. First, it was just Ren and the female. Forgive me, I don't know who's doing the other voices. But in this last section, there's like 4 different voices. And the way they're presenting it, this is I know, even though I'm not religious, I know the story of Adam and Eve, but the way it's being presented and the visuals are incredible. But I'm loving the voice changes where it's perfectly seamless when they change from Ren to the girl to the older gentleman sounding like another girl. Very cool.
Supposedly all-knowing,
perhaps wanted and intended
the humans to bite too.
In the Bible, Satan was an exiled angel of free will. Humans are exiled
descendants of Adam and Eve,
also with free will. Not only have we shared a similar fate to the devil, we were also both constructed in the image of our Creator.
Constructed in the image of our Creator.
Meaning our behaviors, in some shape or form, imperfectly echo his.
We could assume that this kind of
God has his doubts, but as the most
powerful being in the universe,
he has no one above him
to turn to with questions, and no one to
doubt but himself, an incredibly lonely and isolating existence.
We must only assume that the common thread between God, Lucifer, and us is the desire for more, an eternal curiosity, a desire perhaps birthed from a seed of loneliness. If not, why would we exist in the first place? The constantly looping, bittersweet irony is whether gifted by some omnipotent God or simply a byproduct of billions of years of evolution, here we stand, in 2023, as creatures with free will, the only creatures that understand and define good from bad, creatures with the potential of a God. And what do we do with that free will, my friends? We willingly walk to the edge of a cliff. In the name of progress, we jump off the precipice. The empires we build ravage the earth. The natural order of things are necessary to survive. Any systems which do not honor homeostasis eventually perish. Our free will overrides our own biological instinct. We can take more than we eat We can kill more than we need. We can willingly create weapons with the potential to burn everything we've built to the ground. We willingly decide to bow at the altar of greed, the most insidious and destructive of all sins. We put our faith in corporations who pose as rulers. We willingly allow ourselves to be led by outdated power systems ran by corrupted politicians
and bloated dictators who claim domain and dominion over an open and free land.
We willingly elect the corrupted when the decision was always ours to build something better. We willingly create and impose separation because of beliefs that we are force-fed through our phones and television sets. We always had the will to reject these things, but we adhere to them as though they were the laws of physics. War, famine, pestilence, greed, these aren't things imposed upon us by an all-powerful God or by his demonic adversary. They are here because of us, not because of free will, but because of our inability to use it. We must be motivated to be better, not out of fear of punishment of an eternal damnation, but because the choice exists, because we love ourselves, because we have the power to absolve ourselves of so much unnecessary suffering. Take a second to be in this very moment. In this moment, how much suffering is happening all over the planet right now? How many people are dying of illnesses that could have easily been cured, but aren't because of the selfishness and greediness of humanity? How many people break their backs and reject their own passions to simply afford bills and food? How many of us crave distraction from existence? How many of us numb that pain in whatever way necessary? How many children are being abused? How many people sleep cold and hungry on the streets? How many of us become cogs inside a machine that is destroying itself? How many soldiers have been forced to fight in meaningless wars? How many humans have killed for ideals they don't believe in or understand? How many people have died for the greed of another man? And how much of this was avoidable? As written in the Bible, Satan was not condemned to hell. Satan was condemned to earth. He lives there amongst other creatures with free will, who always had the choice and still chose their own undoing. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our self-made hell. The bittersweet irony is this is a creation of our own design. I'll leave you with this. Consider what you have done here today. You have worked together as individuals collaborating to form a giant neural network, a hive mind capable of achieving incredible things. We have lent on each other's strengths to solve puzzles and decipher riddles, and we've done so to win money. Imagine applying that same spirit and determination to creating the closest thing we have to paradise here on Earth. By using the power of collaboration, we can work together to even the playing field for everybody. Our dystopias can become utopias. Our Jahannams can become Jannah. Our hells can become heaven, right here on Earth. And this sentiment applies to atheists, agnostics, and believers alike. Myself, I'm an agnostic who believes. I believe in us. We must do better because we can choose to. We must be better simply because the option exists. Thank you.
Wow. I don't know where to go from that. That was not what I was expecting to get to. Wow. Wow. It wasn't even a song. It was spoken word, 100% spoken word. This was a super thanks donation request for aixmhros of Ren with his not song, Eden. Wow. That was so well done. It was so well done. That's crazy. Like I said, I could easily just sit here and listen to him read me a book. His voice is so interesting. It's not, he doesn't have the Morgan Freeman, Winston Churchill, big bass, deep, but his voice is so interesting. I could just listen to him talk all day. That was crazy. That was really good. The way it was presented, the video itself, the first half of it being in like an old school video games, style of graphics and everything. And then the real life pictures, it always kills me when I see a little kid. I hate those videos because they're real, you know. It's terrible. But it was incredible. It was presented so well. The way Ren does stuff is just so impressive. That was cool. It was cool, but it was depressing, but it was full of hope. There at the end, it was, you know, it's a depressing feeling piece, but he ends it with hope, and I love that. I really like that. That was really good. Not what I was expecting at all, but still amazing. Absolutely amazing. He's got this ability to just connect, and it's really good. So, Axon, thank you so much for your donation. I really appreciate it. Thank you for having me listen to this. I honestly don't think this had been requested, or maybe it had, but I don't remember. But I don't think anybody's ever said anything about this. This is cool. I really like the way that was presented. Not expecting a spoken word piece, and it was really good. If you guys like this video, give it a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you next time.